Stop. Boom.
Welcome to Thunder Nerds. I'm Brian Hinton.
And I'm Frederick Philip Von Weiss, and you are consuming the Thunder Nerds, a conversation for the people behind the technology that love what they do
And do web good.
and have this color hair. Yeah. Boom. Ah.
Love it.
Jenell Pizarro, welcome.
Hi.
Oh, it's so good to have you on the show again.
Yeah.
How many months ago, but it was great talking to you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, nifty.
Yeah.
I was wearing a cat shirt that day.
Were you?
Yeah. It was like a cat poncho.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's right.
like, okay, so today is Saturday, but I didn't get to like celebrate Catchable Friday yesterday.
Casual Friday.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's totally a thing.
Wait, what is Casual Friday?
Like casual Friday, but
Right, but with
casual.
cats. So like, I'm not a cat
All right.
person.
Okay.
I'm a cat shirt person.
You're like an advocate for cats, but don't have a cat.
I'm allergic to cats.
Okay.
And I think they're really nifty.
Yeah.
But I'm allergic to them, and they also kind of scare me. So
Scare you.
yeah, they're like, you know, I'm
They're
super
evil.
Hispanic.
I mean, I get it.
Uh-huh.
You're right. And so like my mom, like growing up, she was like, your soul.
Well,
Have a cat.
they
Like
do
you
that.
will
They have
steal
been known
my
to do
soul.
that. That's
And I
what that
was like-
purring is. It's them sucking your soul out of your body.
It's funny. You're gonna love the story. My neighbor, my wife's buddy, she has this black cat, and they always say, "Stay away from this cat because it bites and doesn't like people." So the first thing I always do is I go up to the cat and I let it bite me really hard
Oh.
because I'm like, whatever, and then it bites me really hard, and then it lets me pet it,
Oh,
and then it gets all lovey with me and sits on me. But it just
that's
wants
so
to,
weird.
but it just wants
Really
to bite you
weird.
really hard first.
I want to taste.
I don't mind.
Man,
Cat bite, I
see
kind of
what's
like
probably happening.
it. I love getting bitten.
See what's,
Bite me.
see what's probably happening is the cat is tasting you. It's like, no.
Yeah, poor cat. It's probably like, that's awful.
Just pet me.
Yeah.
Just-
I'll also put it out there too that a lot of animals that have bit me just spit me right out.
see my cat's thing is, as far as the evil, my mom growing up would always tell me, black cats don't drive across the black cat if it's across the street, don't cross.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was adamant about it and she brought up all these stories where her like uncle or someone fell off a ladder and died and all this stuff happened and
Oh,
she had
geez.
linked up with every time she drove across Cat's path. I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
so
So
like, I
voodoo.
still, well, no, I'm not taking risks. If I see a black cat, if I happen to see it, it's crossing, I'll go around it.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Moms know best. They do.
Yeah.
Like,
They do,
cats,
yeah.
Cats, obviously kill
Lasagna,
uncles
cats,
and
black cats.
Yeah.
If you just
done.
let a black cat bite you once,
I don't know if I want to take that challenge.
Challenge. This could lead to your soul.
Right?
Being gone.
Yeah. I like my soul.
I've done without it this long. I'm fine. I've come from Jersey City, so
Oh, so done.
zero soul. How have you been? Tell me about what you're doing now. You are now working for whom?
Yeah, I work at Skillcrush full time.
Right. And you're crushing it.
Yeah. That's actually our hashtag. We skill crush it all the time. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's like one giant dad joke.
It is. It's so amazing. Dad
you.
jokes are the greatest.
They are.
But yeah.
Tell me more.
This is an awesome phone, by the way. People.
Yes, it is a more beautiful
Audio
iPhone.
listeners, it's a iPhone,
Yes.
iPhone case on the back. You have to look at the video just to look at this phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty great.
Back to the
Reminds
conversation.
me of Broad City so much, but that's another
Yeah.
story. But yeah, I work at Skillcrush as a front-end development TA.
Uh-huh.
So I get to teach people how to code, which is
Oh,
really
cool.
awesome. So yeah, it's pretty an amazing experience. For sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And you're also doing something else too, right?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, from my notes here, you're
Butterbeer,
also...
apparently.
Oh yeah, no, that
No.
is a former position that I
Okay.
held when I applied.
Okay.
Right, but
Well,
now,
we will not speak its name,
yeah.
like
Well,
Voldemort.
the last time we spoke, I was working there.
Right, yes.
Yeah, so
Yes. And you're, by the way, you're also a huge Harry Potter fan, right?
I am a huge Harry Potter fan. Yes.
Yes.
I don't think I
Very
should
much
get
so.
started in this because I like Harry Potter too. We could just, we could
For
have,
days.
we'll have to cancel entire.
Wait, are you married by any chance? Or
No, I'm not married by a partner.
Okay, so if if you, by any chance, if they like jewelry or if you like jewelry, Alex and Ani has Harry Potter jewelry right now.
She's not into Harry Potter.
Oh my goodness. Do it for you.
Keep talking to me. Tell me about this jewelry.
I think your wife's into it, right?
There's I didn't bring it because I would show it off all the time.
Sure.
So like it's the glasses and the lightning bolt like as a ring.
That's
it's
pretty
just
cool.
Heck yeah.
So beautiful. It's amazing. So yeah, it's like
I'm kind of disappointed you're not wearing it now.
I am. I would totally do that. I don't know. I have to go back to Orlando and like pick it up.
I also saw on your info that you were a peddler of Butterbeer.
Once upon a time, actually my first job was a Butterbeer cocktail server.
Now, is it gluten-free?
I mean, at the time, I don't think it was. So it might be gluten-free now. I have no idea.
Right.
Brian loves gluten. He just drinks it right down.
Anyway.
I would like blended bread, please. Thank you.
Add extra gluten in it.
Is that
bartender?
Is that beer?
That is actually the definition of beer. Yes.
What is?
Blended, like bread.
Brent. Oh.
Basically,
liquid bread.
Liquid bread. I mean, that's how like they make it. Like
it's like liquid death.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, good stuff.
That's like like toilet wine kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what that comes from.
That stuff is delicious.
Yeah. Okay, so why are you here?
What are you speaking about here? What are you talking about?
Well, not toilet wine.
Not toilet wine. No, Brian does that one.
So I'm actually going to be talking about React and Angular and a little bit of Ionic.
You know what? And we were so interested because we saw that you went from React and you're going to Angular.
Which is slower.
So you actually have to like watch the talk to kind of like sort things out. What that journey is like and where I ended up. Because it's going to be a really fun kind of presentation. So you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to learn about React and Angular and Ionic, but really it's a journey that you're learning about, not necessarily.
Eventually to Angular. Now what version of Angular are we talking about here?
4.
Wait.
4.
4?
4.
Yeah, most recent.
8. 12.
I thought, man, I must be behind the Angular game.
3?
I remember
4.
4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 4.
It's 4.
Yeah. Googling.
Please hold while Brian looks this up.
Okay, yeah, Angular 4.
Yeah.
It looks like it's new. It was just released out Angular 4? Or is it in the process of being released? Well, then, no, top features you need to know of this year. Anyway, so so why did you make that journey? Probably would be a good question.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to learn the struggle bus. Like I've always kind of felt that way. Like always look at the struggle bus and see like if you can learn anything from it. From doing that hard work and effort and trying really hard. And so I was just like, well, how do I do this? The only way that I can do this is by giving myself a task, right?
Yeah.
So I actually had a theater group nearby called, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting their names entirely. The Rich Weirdos, that's what they're called.
How would you forget that?
Rich Weirdos.
I love that.
Weirdos with an E because Florida schools. They're amazing. They do a Rocky Horror tribute kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so they needed a way to kind of like create their list of people, their cast list, and kind of organize all of their cast. And I was like, well, let me do that for you. And so I was like, well, let's build it with Angular, just because I want to try.
Sure.
And so they're like, well, we need an app, like not a mobile responsive app. Like we need an actual app. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to learn Ionic. Because I'm not about to
or Kotlin or
all the things.
Or...
Well, here's my thing. I was just like, look, if I'm already learning Angular, right? Like, what's the easiest way to like get that? Whatever I'm learning right now.
An easy way.
Because I mean, I want to do the struggle bus, but I also don't want to get killed by the struggle bus.
Yeah, you don't want to get ran over by.
Right. So I did Ionic for a bit, and I had some fun with Ionic. If you guys check out the video that's coming, I guess from this, you'll see how much fun I had with Ionic, and going back to like React, like how that kind of journey goes. Like, did I like it? Did I hate it? Did I build it? Yeah, I love React.
Oh, okay. See,
the fiery passion deep down in my soul. So the moral of the story is,
React
is
maybe.
amazing.
Maybe
No, it's not. React is
say his
not
name
anymore.
So like Beetlejuice, say it 3 times, it'll just pop up.
Don't do that for real. That guy might show up, man. We don't need that right now.
I really, 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 really want to do that one day. Like one day, I just want to like say Beetlejuice 3 times and
say it.
That's once.
Dang it. Okay. No, I feel like I'm just like looking and I'm like, I'm gonna die, aren't I? Like I'm gonna legitimately.
I think if you actually do say it, just Michael Keaton shows up and he's like, where the hell am I?
Why does this keep happening?
Yeah. Oh God, another person.
That would be amazing.
That would be funny.
Now I need to get to LA and you're paying for it.
Man, well, maybe you just call someone over there and ask them to say it.
Yeah, it happened again. Code blue. Code blue.
So they just say his name again 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, and he goes right back.
That can be so convenient.
Time travel.
Hey, can you say my name 3 times? But yes, you know why. Shut up. Yeah. Funny, right?
Oh my gosh. Showering. Like if you're in the shower.
Oh, right.
Like you're just like you're just showering. And
hey man, are you in the shower right now? Yeah, why? Are you fuckers?
Soap everywhere.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Middle of Times Square.
Done.
Hey everybody. Me, Michael Keaton washing up. Really funny.
Done.
But the thing is,
Come on, Doug,
if you think about it, there's probably so many people who don't do that. He'd probably just never be home.
What happens if Michael Keaton says Michael Keaton 3 times? I think Stephen Hawking explodes.
Oh gosh, mind blown.
Right? Damn, that's meta.
Oh, by the way, apparently Angular 2 went from 2 to 4. It skipped 3.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Which is weird. But it also was 3, but it was actually called 4.
Oh, kind of like ES6, which
really
is
weird.
Yeah.
Awkward. They're like, ES 2015, but we're gonna call it ES6.
What are some of the good kind of takeaways? And I know you might not want to share with us yet because you're going to be talking about it.
No.
But for the people at home that aren't here with us, do you have any good takeaways that you could share that are like, this is what I'm talking about today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think good takeaways are try new things for sure, because you never know what you don't like until you explore it, right? So I know that I would have never used a GUI before had I not tried Ionic. So that was an experience. And, really kind of owning who you are as a developer. That kind of is amazing too. Like being able to be like, okay, well, here's where I started. And then here's my journey. And then coming out at the other end and like looking back at that like experience and thinking, wow, even though like this could have been amazing or this was terrible, like I am a better developer because of it. And I think that's probably the takeaway for sure.
Yeah, that big journey that you had when we talked to the Iron Yard, and you went through that, and I told them about your journey. And then like maybe like a week later after we talked to them, we heard the
sadness.
I'm so sad about that. But I've heard that they may be trying to do something to keep it alive.
Oh yeah,
so hopefully more individual Iron Yards do that and kind of keep the spirit alive, because it was a really great. I know all the alumni are very
everybody's very tight knit because it's such a great program, and it obviously helps so many different people. And from what you told us, like, it was that like you jump out in the water and the boat's going and it slows down, and then you try to get onto the boat and the boat's like, you okay? Yep. All right, see ya. Boom.
Yeah.
Takes off. Good luck getting the shore.
Very much so.
Yeah. So like that builds your skills so much quicker.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to ask about React. Like why the love affair with React? Like what did you, when you use it, why are you like, yes? Like what is it?
Components make me so happy.
But you can do
you can totally do that in like other languages.
Everything.
I know, but it's like components with JSX just makes sense. You read it and you're just like,
but it,
like it just makes
But it has to make sense because you can't even put like native like stuff in it. You have to do it. JSX is like a weird XML HTML thing.
Yes. But have you tried React Native by any chance?
React Native for web or React Native? Which one?
Well, it's
That's
React
where
Native.
it's getting really weird and confusing because React Native, you can output to web, you can output to Android, you can output to iOS, and then there's React Native Web, which can do some other weird things as well. There's so many different,
VR and stuff like that. Yeah, React does like some really wonky stuff
really discombobulated, I would say.
Yeah, it's getting a few different flavors and levels.
Yeah.
I think they're trying, if that makes sense. They're trying to figure out what their thing is. And I love React. Ooh, yeah, that was.
And my thing with that, which is what would put us brakes for me if I was like a company using it, is it'd be like, okay, they changed back, but for a moment they were going to do that, which could have really messed with our company like stuff.
Right. Well, as far as I know, it was always not MIT. So.
No, it was open for like before they did that, and then they switched it to that, and then they switched it back. That's what happened. Yeah, that was why like WordPress came out. It was like, yeah, we're not going to use React anymore, and I don't know if they switched back. I don't know. I haven't heard.
Yeah.
But, that's why a bunch of big teams and why Facebook was like, oh,
right.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, when you want to monetize something, sometimes that's the way you got to do it, right?
Apparently only like 3 or 4 people or less working on React, like at Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a very small team. At one point, I think it was just 2.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, it's not a big team working on it, which is kind of impressive. But there's a lot of open source people contributing.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's how you get stuff moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love React. It's been like a love affair for me because, I feel like it's just so easy to read and so easy to write. And it's essentially just JavaScript, right? Like at the end of the day, like that's what makes me really happy is that I don't have to like learn how to do something in React. I can learn how to do something in JavaScript and it just works in React, right? Yeah. And so I think that's why I really enjoy it versus, any other framework. Because, for example, I was playing around with Ember a couple days ago. Actually did like a whole project and it was weird because I was reacting it in my brain. So like Ember is similar to.
Gotta burn that all away.
I know, it's really weird. So like I was trying to do some.
Like
Ember. Okay, yeah, I got it now. It took me a little bit, but yeah.
Fire joke.
The bad dad joke.
It's a good joke.
But yeah, I tried to like go through it as a React developer, and I was just like, "This is stop doing that." Like, just think in JavaScript. And
did you look in the mirror when you did it?
I had to. Yeah, I think I look in the mirror all the time. Like that's kind of like my thing. That's how the hair happens, right? So it's just like. Oh really?
No, I use my phone. And then I make ducky faces.
He's like,
phone mirror, do you? Or are you like the?
Yeah. I never understand that.
I'm the Kim Kardashian of my phone right now.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
I describe myself that way.
Yeah,
I bet you do.
Yeah. I'm the Kim Kardashian of my phone.
There
so
you go,
it's fine. But yeah, no, I had to kind of like look at, everything Ember-y and assess the situation like that. And it's really weird because they have like a set process of doing things, like things are mandated a certain way, as opposed to like React, which is just like, do what you want, but just make it JavaScript, right?
There's something to be said for that though, because like if you want to accomplish something, it's kind of like structuring something that, like, if, for instance, HTML, if we go back to HTML, if everyone could just build, okay, I want to build a container for something. If there was no div, you could just be like, I'm going to just name whatever I want. This is my happy container. Maybe Harry Potter theme.
Yes!
Sure.
But if you had to do that, like opening up Frederick's website or your website, you'd be like, what am I looking at?
Correct.
So there's something to be said for it being structured.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I suppose React, where there's certain things that are, like component mounds and
Mhm.
things like that are built into it that do structure. But like, I don't know. How do you feel about the fact that there is none? It's nice, but is it also is it negative?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Ember, it was really nice to be able to be like, this comes out of the box. Like I have a structure straight out of the box. Like I don't have to like architect
even animation.
What I'm doing. Yeah, everything is like right there. Like you don't ever have to.
Which package am I going to use?
Right.
Which is what React is.
React, I'm just like, do I have to use this or do I have to build a custom situation for this? Like, can I use this or can I not? Like, do I have to NPM install this or not? Like,
exactly.
You know, like it's just like,
yeah.
It's a lot of like thinking about like, where do things go, right? Like you're constantly thinking, where do things go? With Ember and, you know, with a lot of other frameworks, you don't have to think like that. You don't have to be like, well, what package? Well, what package do I have to get to make this happen? You're like, okay, well, I'm just going to write it in this right here and in this format, and it's done. It's already like there, which is that's wonderful. Like it's wonderful to not have to think about where you're going from there, right? Like you already have that process set up for you. With React, you're just like, well, I could do this, or maybe I could do this entirely, and then maybe pull somebody else's, you know, information, and then maybe that's not going to work, and so then I have to start from scratch because that doesn't.
It's a lot of planning ahead, and maybe when you want to get results a lot quicker. Yeah. I see what you're doing.
I think it takes time to like kind of do that with React and just be like, I know what I want done. Like I have those kind of set in my brain, you know, as opposed to like any other language or framework rather. You can just be like, okay, well, I don't need to know exactly where I need to go. I just need to know that I need to build something, right? So that's nice. That's what I don't like about React is that it's not very structured, but it's also what I do love about React at the same time.
After your bumpy bus ride, do you feel comfortable enough that if like Frederick called you up and was like, hey, I need a Harry Potter website in Ember, would you be like, yeah, totally. I might need that.
Done.
I can build that. Do you feel comfortable enough in the other languages that you feel proficient in using them through this journey, or at least enough that you could like get going after a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Ember, I think that's a really great kind of like question for sure. With Ember, like I literally did this project in less than 24 hours. So like I learned how to make something in 24 hours, which is
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now,
like I wouldn't have known that.
With React, were you able to make something in under 24 hours?
With React.
No. That's the short answer.
With React. So I learned, that was my very first library that I ever learned was React. Okay. So it took me longer because I just learned JavaScript like 3 days before, right?
3 days before.
So, you know, it was a little challenging.
Then at 5 days, I built Google 2.0.
Done. I mean, that's how the iron works, though. They're like, you know, you're learning a thing today, and now tomorrow, build something beautiful. Like,
from a life jack to a life preserver to a boat to a yacht.
Yeah. But I think, you know, I got that. So actually from learning about Ionic and Angular is how I think I was able to learn Ember so quickly and actually build something with Ember so quickly, because I was like, okay, well, this is very familiar in Angular, right? Like, or this is what I learned from, you know, the Ionic kind of structure. And that's kind of what made me understand Ember kind of like that, as opposed to like, you know, if I were just going from React to Ember, I would just be like, components are not even the same thing. Like, what do you mean? So like,
and then Angular, where's all this ng stuff?
that was a really fun day for me. The ng things. I was like, what does that mean? What does that do? Like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Like, so it was really nice to work from Ionic then to Angular. They kind of work seamlessly. Ionic only works with Angular. But like, so it was nice to just be like, okay, I have a transition to it instead of just like, boom, ng all the things. Because otherwise I think I would just be like staring at everything and I would be done. I'd be like, you know what? I don't even need to build this. I'm done. You're not getting anything, you guys. Like, you get none of the things. So yeah.
No. My final question is, which language name do you like the best?
Language name?
Just the name.
Just the name.
Ooh.
And would you then replace the language you like with that name?
Ooh, that's nice. I think my favorite language name would be Go.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So Go instead of React.
No.
No, that would be the name.
Oh gosh, no. I feel like
Go Act.
Go Act. Yes, that would be like just specifically for theater people. Like every
You go act. The programming language for theater people. Go Act.
Very theatrical.
So like every like tag is like Hamlet or Shakespeare. Like you know,
geez.
like they're all named after things. Like this one's the Hamilton. This is how you write Hamilton.
On the thespian framework.
That'd be hilarious.
Wow.
But no, I think
So many great startup ideas.
Right?
done. But yeah, I think Go is probably my favorite. It's just so positive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really like that. I also like Ruby, but I enjoy Ruby as a language as well. Like
Ruby's just nice because I don't even understand why languages can't be more like that. It's like you look at it and you're like, I want to do this. And I mean, I understand why, because you're distancing yourself from like the more, what's the term, more, well, you're distancing yourself from the core of the language, like of what the assembly and all, you know what I'm talking about. So I get why they can't, but it's so nice to be able to just be like,
yeah, if
do
I
this, and it's like the word makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I love like this the concept of self in Ruby. Like that's just it's beautiful. But yeah, I think honestly my favorite language, as much as I enjoy front end so very much, my favorite language hands down is Ruby. Yeah, I would have never even gotten into Ruby.
Still find it magical that you can do like one line in the terminal and be like, oh, I have Facebook now.
Yeah, I have all the things like just from my terminal. Look at how awesome this is.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Scaffold this.
Yeah, like you just IRB and then you're done. Like
someone
it's
should do a parody with like someone doing a React and there's someone over here and they're building like the same thing. And they're like, oh, I already have mine up and running.
Yeah.
What? Oh, what do you do? Oh, you're typing more. Okay.
Oh, you need another 20 minutes?
Oh, mine's styled to launch.
I guess I'll hang out over here and eat my hot dog.
Right. I still
Hold on,
love
I got a call. I want a actual hot dog at the phone. Can they do that?
I don't think so.
I don't think that would last
also,
long.
In your stomach or?
Both, either.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Have some technical issues with your body.
I mean, probably this is made of similar material as hot dogs, so
That's true.
Yeah, I'll still want to eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
Looking at that phone still makes me hungry.
Oh my god!
If you weren't here, I might eat that phone.
Oh my. Well, I mean, I could like disassociate the phone and the case for you.
You might need to.
Just like demystify that for you.
Depends how much you like the case.
Like, am I really hungry today? Like, I think it would be really fun to have like a case that would be edible, because then you could call people from your tummy. Like,
oh my god! If I could call people from my tummy, that'd be the best. I would call Brian. Brian, guess where I am right now? Although Brian's phone is weird, it doesn't pick up when it rings.
No, it never does.
Brian, hello. You sound really funny. So do you. Hold on a minute. How do you like that, fucker?
I feel like that would be like a nice thing to like when you have like kids or something. You could just call them from like, like they're freaking out or whatever, like, nightmares. Like you could just be like, it's okay. I'm in bed. Go to sleep. Like you don't ever have to get up and talk to them. Like that would be interesting for me. Like, because then I'd just be like, I'm in bed.
What is that coming from my dad? Talk through my stomach?
I'm gonna do that.
Is this my conscience? Like,
what is going on?
Yes.
So from React to phones that are in your stomach and hot dogs all the way back again, full circle.
What?
I don't know, but it made a full circle.
That was
in my
not
mind.
full circle.
Oh yeah, well,
Yes, it
actually,
was.
because we started off with.
It wasn't
like,
even a
hot dog.
star. This is more like, I don't know.
17 degrees.
Done.
Or full circle. But hey, thank
Great
you
having
so
you
much
on.
for being on the show with us again.
Yes. We should make it like every couple of weeks you just come on.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
3 months I could just be like,
If to
and
dye
this
your
is
hair
my
a
hair
different
now.
color, though.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
All right, cool.
That's right.
We'll see you in February.
Done.